I'm off to book a train to Nagano. I got the JR pass, so got up a little bit earlier than I would have liked to, but I got to figure out how to do the booking of the train ticket. So I've got the pass, I just have to book a seat. So I'm going to try that out this morning, see how it goes.
To use the Japan Rail Pass, you simply had to find the ticket machines, click on Japan Rail Pass in the bottom left corner, and then you could just put in your passport number, scan your pass, and then it was really easy to book a ticket. Once I did this a few times, it became very, very quick to do. Once you got your ticket and go through the gate, there are several areas to get snacks. On your ticket, it'll have the gate. They're very well marked. It's very easy to find. By the time you get your ticket, go through the check-in, get food, find your gate, get down to the platform of the train. It can take less than 5 minutes most of the time. The trip from Ueno Station to Nagano took an hour and a half. This was the first time I've done this on my own, and it was actually a very easy process. The trip was great, relaxing, and the Shinkansen was spectacular. The biggest reason I wanted to go to Nagano was to see Zenkoji Temple. This is about 2 kilometers away from the train station, and I could have taken a bus for about 190 yen, which is a little bit over $1, but I decided I'd just walk. It was a nice day. The other reason I really wanted to go to Nagano was to see the Japanese Alps and get out of the city for a little while, with the hopes that it would be just a little bit cooler there. Zenkoji Temple has a very interesting story. In the 6th century, a wooden statue of Buddha was brought from India to Korea and wound up in Japan. At that time, Buddhism was still a little bit controversial since it was a new religion being brought over. So the statue was thrown into the Osaka River. A samurai named Honda Yoshimitsu found it. He took it to his hometown of Nagano and enshrined the image in 642. In 654, it was decided to hide this statue away from most people so it wouldn't be taken. Later in the 13th century, they made a replica for important guests so they could look at it instead of actually seeing the original. At this point in time, the only time you can even see the replica is every 6 to 7 years for a 57-day time period. Yoshimitsu's name, when put into kanji, is Zenko, and Ji means temple. They even have a festival so that people can come and see the statue. The next time we'll be able to see this will be 2027 or 2028. As you walk between the Niman Gate, which has guardians that help keep the evil spirits out, and the Sanman Gate, the temple's main gate, which dates back to about 1750, you will see 6 statues of Buddhas wearing red headgear. These are called the 6 Jizo. They are bodhisattvas or Buddha saints who gave up enlightenment to help regular people reach salvation. Next to the 6 bodhisattva saints is a larger statue called the Nure Potoke. There is an interesting story behind this because he is said to have comforted the soul of a girl named Oshichi, the green grocer, who was burned at the stake during the Great Edo Fire.
if you don't know anything about Buddhism, it obviously started in India. I think people tend to think of like the fat laughing Buddha at the Chinese restaurants, but that's a Buddha, not the Buddha. After this, I'm probably going to take a 30-minute train to Matsumoto Castle. I got to go back and see if that's going to be worth it. I'll probably grab lunch first, however. So I'm going to start looking around for that after I go down to the shops near the temple. It's quite refreshing to see more Japanese tour groups than American or European tour groups. I find it interesting that there's shops at the end of all of this. They're all starting to open up right now. It's a way calmer temple than the one in Asakusa. By 10 or 11 o'clock, that was getting really, really crowded. Well, Zenkoji Temple was well worth it. I'm glad I made the trip up. I'm going to go grab some lunch and then I think head to a castle. So one of the reasons I picked Nagano as a day trip was the same, really got the same information as I did about Ueno, which is from a YouTuber. Goes by Ninja Monkey, which is a great name. I think his name's Nathan Russell. Anyway, he did a video on how easy it was to kind of come out to Nagano and see the temple, and then even zip over to Matsumoto Castle, which I think is where I'm headed to next, assuming I can figure out the train system. Anyway, he does a great job on videos about Japan. I use a lot of his information. Obviously, there's some others like Chris Broad and so on, but for me, his have been very helpful. It's really the biggest reason I kind of picked this particular day trip. Okay, so I've arrived in Matsumoto. It took about 50 minutes on a Shinkansen from, God, where was I? 50 minutes on the Shinkansen from Nagano. It's about a 15-minute walk to the castle, so that's where I'm headed next. So I made it to the castle and Matsumoto. It's pretty cool, actually. I haven't had a chance to walk around it quite yet. So it seems to me that when you come to Japan, it's a lot of shrines, temples, and castles. It's very similar to Europe. In Europe, it's the churches, the big art museums. I think when you're here, it's just imperative to see those three things as many times as you can because it's something very unique. There's nothing quite like that anywhere I've ever seen. So I think it's a pretty unique thing to see something like, Osaka Castle or Himeji or Matsumoto. These are, experiences I can't get anywhere else. So there's a moat that goes around the castle as well. I think I can just wander around it. We're going to find out. Definitely a must-see. A little bit out of the way, but I think if you stay anywhere in this region, this is definitely a really short day trip. I think it was worth it to kind of get out of Tokyo for a day. I'm going to be in Tokyo 3 more days, so I got plenty to do there. This was a fun day trip to kind of get out, see Nagano, see the temple there, and then come and see the castle here. So, well worth it. If you ever have the opportunity, definitely come check it out.
Would you like to take your photo?
Sure. So the one thing I've noticed is in Nagano and now here, Matsumoto, is that most of the tours are Japanese tours. I have seen some European American tours, but in the end, it's mainly Japanese tours, and it's way quieter. I'm really surprised how few people. I mean, it's 2 o'clock right now. Pretty much everything in Tokyo, Kyoto would be packed. So if you're wanting to get a more relaxing experience, definitely get out of those cities. You know, that's coming from a person who's staying in probably the 3 most touristy cities. But I am going to do some day trips to Hiroshima, maybe a few other places. But it's good to see this side of Japan a little more calm.